4 orphans, 4 broken hearts. George Jevase worked for an NGO caring for HIV patients. His wife, Mutangwa Ramadzia, was a social worker and an HIV/AIDS researcher. A grandmother has taken the 4 children under her wing.
In as far as education is concerned, we have already arranged that they attend school at Venga. The elder one is going to attend at Chikewa. These others are going to attend at the Shayandima School of Tomorrow.
Port Elizabeth also lost a loved nurse. Nobatle KATAZO leaves behind her husband and their 3 children.
After this funeral, maybe we can get a chance to come better. But my wife, you can remember my wife about the love. She was a woman with a love.
Well-known Eastern Cape journalist Ponko Musiba was buried in East London.
It's a very difficult time. It's very hard to tell how we're actually coping. But I think that throughout this whole process, we've been strong and we've been strong together.
Anthony van der Bijl buried his wife Louise. She went to Lagos with the hope that the church would shed light on the whereabouts of her 24-year-old son, Randall Gum. He disappeared 4 years ago.
I believe that God will give me the answers on my questions when I reach Scone.
In KwaZulu-Natal, an emotional send-off for Pumzile and Dennis Ngobo. The parents of 8 ran a wellness center with outlets countrywide. The family was brave enough to view the remains.
The families, close families, did view the bodies, and we got the confirmation and the affirmation that yes, these are the bodies of our brethren, the deceased, Mr. and Mrs. Ngobo.
In Tabanchu, mourners bid 29-year-old Witumelo Bransel farewell. A young life and academic career cut short. Just last week, the family received Witumelo's approval to enroll for a master's degree at Birmingham University in the UK.
We cannot blame anybody for anybody's death. As Christians, we believe that when your day has come, when the Lord decides to call you back home, it will happen wherever you are.
Another promising student, 23-year-old Sbongile Mahlango Matsi, was in her final year BCom accounting. Synagogue Church of All Nations representatives also in attendance. But despite repeated appeals from the victims' families, still no clarity as to when TB Joshua will appear before an inquest into the guest house collapse.
Is grieving at this point in time. The bodies have never been laid to rest, yet there's somebody is rushing to want to go into putting him under that pressure, whereas he needs to support the families as we talk at this point in time.
For some, still an unclosed chapter. The silent mourner is still waiting for the remains of his wife.
I would like to urge every Christian out there to stand in the gap and pray for them, for God to strengthen them and support them in every way they can possibly support them.
As most of the families finally lay their loved ones to rest and embark on their healing journeys, 11 others continue an agonizing wait for closure. Stefina Komane, SABC News, Crystal Park Cemetery, Benoni.